The restyling of the Skoda Yeti in 2012 solved most of the problems that scared off potential buyers. Therefore, in the secondary market, it is the updated versions that are the most attractive. The Skoda Yeti crossover is built on the Octavia A5 platform, the same as that of the VW Golf, Tiguan, Touran, etc., etc. The passenger car that became the Yeti donor has proven itself from the best side, especially the simplest versions of it with 8-valve engines, mechanical transmissions, and front-wheel drive. The absence of a compact crossover in the Skoda lineup and the urgent demands of the market forced the company to develop and release a small light SUV. It is smaller than the VW Tiguan and is closest in size to the Skoda Fabia, if only slightly taller. For this compactness and general charm, the crossover fell in love with buyers from Eastern Europe and Russia. Walking in the evening around my house in one of the sleeping areas of Moscow, I counted as many as 4 Yeti out of almost 100 cars. There were only Kia Rio and Renault Logan more. There was even only one Renault Duster. Despite the fact that the Yeti does not impress with either the spaciousness of the cabin or the volume of the trunk, the dynamics, too, and the cross-country ability with 180mm of clearance makes you think about the meaning of the purchase. Only 4-wheel drive and build quality save, at a lower cost than that of the German brother in the concern. One way or another, but Skoda Yeti was bought, and there are quite a lot of them on the secondary market, including restyled ones, which will be discussed. The biggest headache for owners of the first-generation Skoda Yeti was waiting for the inevitable verdict on the turbine. It wasn't bad luck, it was just a matter of time. It is clear that the problem concerned mostly those who imported cars from Europe, the Baltic states, and Belarus. Small-capacity turbocharged engines fit into the column of not-too-expensive customs clearance and remained there even after the increase in duties in 2011. In total, 6 engines were installed on the Skoda Yeti, 4 gasoline and 2 diesel engines. Of these, only one is atmospheric, the 1.6-liter gasoline MPI. The rest, 1.2 TSI, 1.4 TSI, and the well-known 1.8 TSI, as well as 1.6-liter and 2.0-liter diesel engines, are equipped with turbines of varying degrees of boost. The most problematic in terms of reliability of the turbine was the engine with the smallest volume. This, in general, is a very good and very promising engine squeezed all the juice out of supercharging. After restyling in 2012, the unit was modernized, and the problem practically disappeared, while the unique characteristics of the engine remain. Now, with the 1.2 TSI engine, they often turn to replace high-voltage wires and complain about the crankcase ventilation system. Another problem is that most Yetis with such an engine warm up disgustingly in winter, and almost all of these cars are front-wheel drive. The 1.8-liter TSI came in second place in the reliability rating. Hearing this 5 years ago, I would have laughed until hiccups and argued until hoarseness. However, having tormented the owners of the VW Passat and Skoda Octavia, VAG mechanics tried to bring the engine to mind. True, not everything worked out for them, and the manufacturer considers a consumption of 1.5 liters of oil per 10,000 kilometers to be normal. At the same time, the infamous oil scraper rings were replaced with wider ones that do not suffer from distortions and vibration. The second trouble of a powerful 180 horsepower engine was the wear of the timing, namely the stretching of the chain and the development in dampers. A characteristic diesel growl appears, which does not disappear anywhere even a few seconds after a cold start, as it should have been. A heavily stretched chain slips on the teeth of the sprockets, and the owner gets into a major repair. A 1.4-liter engine with a power of 122 horsepower, it would seem, should be the golden mean of power and efficiency, but at the same time it is completely no. Cars with such an engine were not popular, and there are not many of them on the secondary market. These units also have timing problems that are typical for 1.8 TSI, and the turbine is only slightly less loaded than the 1.2-liter. Diesel in Russia did not receive distribution. These are common rail engines, one 1.6-liter and 3 2.0-liter options, 110, 140, and 170 horsepower. The most unfortunate, 140 strong. It appeared first, and all childhood illnesses were corrected on it. Most of the worries, which is already traditional for modern diesel engines, are delivered by the EGR system and a particulate filter, rapid wear of injectors, and high fuel requirements. The most interesting option appeared in 2014, when a 1.6-liter naturally aspirated CVWA engine of the EA211 series, which was made in Kaluga, was installed on the Yeti. This not the most powerful, but simple and reliable engine was suitable for those who wanted to get a lot and for little money. Moreover, 1.6 MPI was docked with the machine gun. Yes, this engine is quite noisy, but it is absolutely indifferent to the quality of fuel and easily digests both A92 and A98, although more expensive gasoline will not add much dynamics, and with an average consumption of 11 liters per 100 kilometers it makes little sense. The main complaints about it are the same as those of others: a belt that requires regular replacement, and vibration of the phase shifter, which also does not like bad oil. Replacing the phase will cost 25,000 rubles, but it's still better than replacing the engine for 770,000. And this motor works great in winter and warms up quickly. What is good about a 1.6-liter engine is a normal automatic. On Yeti they put 6-speed mechanics, and on any of the motors, 7 and 6-speed robots. Manual gearboxes begin to squeak at the start, requiring clutch replacement, and all these DSGs are already so scheduled that you don't even want to waste time on them. Yes, after restyling, the robots work more smoothly and sudden breakdowns are almost uncharacteristic of them, especially DSG-6, but the sediment still remains. However, when choosing a transmission, I would take any other than a mechanical one. If you are going to drive at least a little bit off asphalt, then mechanics are the worst choice. There is not enough traction. The total mass of the car is under 2 tons. You will stall at every turn. The robot in this case will also be loaded beyond measure, although it is more convenient, so that the machine remains. This unit is not marked by serious problems. It only requires timely maintenance. The 4th generation all-wheel drive with Haldex clutch works superbly and, together with responsive traction control, confidently leads the Yeti off-road within the ground clearance. The crossover has no assistance, not even a descent system. All hands and feet. The Yeti suspension is very well made. In front, McPherson struts, traditional for most modern cars, and at the back they decided not to save on handling and put multi-links. This makes the ride very precise and cornering really exciting. At the same time, the suspension is also incredibly reliable, if, of course, it is serviced on time. Most often you have to change the stabilizer rods. Moreover, it is better to put the original on the official service, although they are more expensive, but they have a 2-year warranty. In general, there are a lot of manufacturers making spare parts for the concerned cars, and you can easily find quite budget solutions. Attention may require silent blocks of the front levers, supports of the front pillars and rear transverse levers. In general, the chassis is quite reliable, and it is difficult to single out special problems. As for maintenance, I meant inspection for damage and wear, nothing more. On the one hand, compactness is an attractive feature of the Skoda Yeti. On the other hand, it also stops you from buying a crossover. Yes, he is cute, interesting, it is convenient with him in a cramped city. The interior is quite spacious in front end, with reservations in the back, but the trunk frankly let us down, especially in versions purchased on the domestic market. The problem lies in the full-size spare tire, which eats up almost a third of its volume. If you remove it, replacing it with a repair kit, and throw away the foam elements that form the niche, you can get a rather deep, albeit short, cargo compartment. However, I managed to shove an adult city bike into this trunk, after removing the front wheel. The main plus of the Yeti Salon is the possibility of transformation. Tilts, moves, and takes out almost everything. The back row is divided into 3 parts, and the middle one can be removed by slightly moving the side ones. This is convenient when you are carrying 2 children behind. The interior is very solid and high quality, but boring. Material wear is minimal. The main advantage of Yeti in the secondary market is the choice. Today, almost 1,000 cars are sold only in Moscow and its environs, and only restyled ones. This is 3 times more than, say, Skoda Fabia. Such an offer will allow you to review dozens of cars in search of your one and only.